with all this experience that you have, having, I guess now it's a benefit that you can talk about it, but being civilly sued and going through all this shit,
Right.
being the proactive street cop and having now an outside perspective as a retired law enforcement officer, but now you're able to help people get the right mindset before getting into this job, before getting into field training, while they're in the academy, before the academy, prep for oral boards,
Right.
and then mentoring those cops to kind of have these conversations and get new ideas flowing. Because you can sit there with your shift at with your entire team at 0300 and you're sitting there shooting the shit, but to hear it from somebody else who's
Right.
been through it with new opinions, new
Right.
perspectives, that's, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that's part of the Code 33
Oh
project.
yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely, dude. And in fact, that's the most important aspect of the Code 33 project, man, where it's really driving home the why at the application part, right? Like, right, I want to be there when you're filling that application out, right? And if
Mm-hmm.
I'm not with you, you're not in a with us before you fill that application out, that's okay too, dude. If you're struggling in the police academy right now and you're looking for something that you can just bounce ideas off of, or let me hear it from a different perspective, or maybe some different ideas as to how to do it, right? We're here for you in that sense. Like, it doesn't have to be somebody who's brand spanking new, hasn't even put an application yet. It could be a solo street cop right now. Right now, we have a client in our program who is a working cop, has been for a few years, and is looking to lateral and is looking to just kind of mold themselves a little bit better before they go to that other agency. So it's widespread, but my main focus is those new people, right? And to be a part of that entire process with them is not only extremely beneficial for them, but it's beneficial for that department they're going to, right? So like, if you are in a long-term mentorship, and these mentorships can be developed based off of your needs. So if you're coming to us with just one specific problem and you're like, hey, I don't think I need you week by week, we can set that up towards like, hey, this is a 2-week mentorship. We meet Mondays,
Got it.
Monday and Monday, and that's it. But you know, if we get to a point where you're starting to struggle more, now you hit FTO and now it's like the world just exploded. That relationship between you and that FTO can either it can be really good or it can be really bad, but at the same time, regardless of what it is, that communication tends to be a lot harder than if it's somebody you don't know or who's not evaluating you, right? And you certainly don't want to be the new guy who comes up and goes, like, I fucked this up. I have no idea. Your FTO is going to be like, fuck, I told you how to do this fucking 3 times. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then you're like, all right, yeah, you did. So you don't want to ask any more questions. Right? So you just get it done quickly. Well, if you have us at your side, you can just give a quick text message to me, man. Everybody gets my personal cell phone. Like, hey, man, I have this question right here. Is it okay if we jump on a phone call? Boom. Yes. Boom. Hey, what happened? Okay, think about this. Ask your FTO this, right? Like, just to give from a different perspective. What we're doing is we're developing, right? We're developing these cops, mold them with their why and that passion to get them to understand what law enforcement's main purpose is, man. We are there to protect. You need to have the ability to know when the when is and when the where is, right? The when and where. You there's going to come a time where you need to look someone in the eye and say, shut their fucking mouth and sit down. You're you're gonna, or you know what I mean? You're gonna have to be like that towards people. But then there's gonna come a time where you need to be soft, and that transition and the ability to adapt to both those things is really important. And the gift of discretion, man. Like, showing these cops before they're even a cop, like, hey, this is a thing called discretion, and this is how we can use it. I use discretion more than I used anything else, dude, in violent interactions. And that discretion helped me more than anything I could have ever said, right? Or anything I could have ever done. Like, diffusing these situations just based off, like, look, dude, I understand you're nervous about this, but we can work this out without, having to go to jail. Or, hey man, if you're cool with me, you're respectful, we can work as adults. I'm not going to tow your car. I'm going to get someone here who can drive legally, right? We're going to help you out because we understand that, the weight of the world on your shoulders through hard times. I
Yeah.
understand that. I'm
Yeah.
not out here to make people's life any more, hard. So that development so that these trainees have a foundation, right, of what police work is and the mindset you should have going into it, right? Because there's going to come times where you're going to be staring at some evil, man, and it's going to take you to flip that switch and be able to slow things down and make the right decision for those stressful circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
And